Crystallized Wonder, back again with another psychic reading. This has kind of been a long time coming. This today is going to be about the whole Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Tati Westbrook, James Charles whole Dramageddon thing coming back. So, yeah, today I'm going to use my Santa Muerte tarot deck that I usually do, my Dark Mirror Oracle, and my Moonology deck. So let's get into this. Let's start with the tarot. I'm gonna see, let's see, what should the first question be? Let's go with, what is Shane's role? What is Shane's role in this whole ordeal? And I do apologize that I have to do this out in the living room, but it is very, very hot. So I'm out here where it's a little bit cooler. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Four of Cups, and it is upright. So this card is all about missed opportunities, remorse, regret. So Shane is now starting to feel a little bit remorseful. But this can also signify becoming self-absorbed due to depression, negativity, or apathy. It can indicate that he is feeling bored or disillusioned in his life, that he may be focusing on the negative or feeling like the grass is greener on the other side. So this could be the jealousy that Tati was talking about in her video. He may feel like he has lost his passion, which he has said before, and his motivation for life. So this comes more of like a warning to be mindful of the opportunities or offers that are available to him. And that could have been in the past, because I don't think he's getting any opportunities right now or offers. He may be inclined to dismiss them as insignificant, but he could later realize that they would have led on to amazing things. This can also represent nostalgic, daydreaming, or fantasizing. So this to me is a very clear indication that he knows that he did something wrong here, and he is starting to feel remorseful, regretful, and maybe there was another way that he could have gone that he just didn't take because he thought that going this way was the better choice. So next is the Nine of Cups. And this is usually a pretty positive card, which indicates that wishes will be coming true, or that dreams will become a reality. And this card is saying that if somebody has experienced hardship, sorrow, or pain recently, which we all know Shane has, so this card is telling him that the bad times are behind him now, and a time of happiness, joyfulness, and fulfillment is coming. So it's saying that he will be able to accomplish anything that he puts his mind to, as it represents triumph, success, and achievement. His efforts will not go unnoticed either, as it also signifies recognition, acclaim, and even fame. So this represents having high self-esteem and self-confidence. And this is also a card of celebrations and parties. This, I feel, is more of Ryland, because he is more like, he has higher self-esteem, he has higher self-confidence, he usually tries to, as far as I could see, tried to put things into a more positive light, except for lately, obviously. So this, I am feeling very strongly that this could be Ryland. I'm also feeling a little bit that it's Morgan, that she's gonna keep herself out of this because she knows this is not her fight, and it's gonna do wonders for her, and she may later talk about it. So next is the Ten of Cups reversed. Excuse me. So this is not a great omen. The love, harmony, and contentment has disappeared and are replaced with discontent, arguments, and conflict. This can generally refer to an unhappy home life, a broken home, or dysfunctional family situations. So this card can indicate family breakdowns, problems, I should say, within a family, neglect, or abuse. This can be an indicator of family relationships not being as stable as they appear outwardly. There could be secrets, problems, and or disharmony, and someone may be trying to keep up appearances. This can also represent infertility or miscarriage, which that is not the case here. And on a lighter side, it can simply represent a non-traditional family situation or a foster family. It can also signify homesickness or feeling isolated. So this is definitely on Shane's part. He doesn't have that great of a relationship with Tati as he had once tried to say he did, which is something that Tati also touched on in her video. So that is what this card is talking about. So next is the Eight of Pentacles. Now this is a card of like time of hard work, commitment, diligence, and dedication. So the effort that he puts in will not be in vain, as his hard work will pay off and lead to results, rewards, and accomplishment of his goals. This, I feel, was the conspiracy palette. So when this card does come up, it normally indicates that somebody is methodically working towards something that they want, which at the time, right after the whole James and Tati thing, was the conspiracy palette. So it may seem boring, mundane, or even relentless at that time, but he was on the brink of achieving great success, which he did. So the skills that he was learning at the moment will stand to him later in his life, and he will come away from this experience not only with the inner wisdom that he's gained, but with a sense of pride and self-confidence from achieving his ambitions, which this we have all seen after the conspiracy palette launch. Next is the Five of Swords, reversed, which this can be a good omen as it signifies peaceful resolution of a situation, ending conflict, and moving on. This is a card of communication, compromise, overcoming challenges, and releasing stress. However, this card can also signify an escalation in serious violence and revenge. It can also signify risking everything, being relentless, not heeding warning signs, and surrendering to challenges. It can also represent somebody being held accountable for their actions, crimes, being uncovered, arrests, regret, remorse, shame, and public humiliation. So this card is literally everything that Shane is going through right now. He is being held accountable for his actions. He is, as far as what Tati is saying, he may be under investigation. It could lead to an arrest, either Shane or Jeffree. And I don't see this coming to a peaceful resolution anytime soon. I think it might after the whole trash fire of a situation. But for now, this is a card signaling the revenge. I get the feeling that Shane is going to be pushed over the limits. He's going to see how Jeffree really doesn't care about him, considering Jeffree hasn't said anything about Shane to stick up for him, or to, as far as we know, to even comfort him in this time, where he went on Instagram live to scream about Tati's video. Meanwhile, Jeffree was buying a new car and having fun. So, next is the Seven of Swords. This kind of goes back to what I just said, because this is a card of deception, lies, trickery, cheating, and lack of conscience. So this is all about mental manipulation, tactics, scheming, cunning, and enemies who masquerade as friends and spies in your camp. So this is also the card of dangerous or risky behavior, daring, courage, and staying ahead of the game. But this can also represent flexibility, adaptability, sharp wit, resourcefulness, being strategic, or being overly rational. This can also signify underhanded behavior, theft, burglary, fraud, dodgy deals, and a general lack of conscience. It also represents escaping detection and getting away with something. There's something here that has not been uncovered yet. Something about Shane and his involvement. I know that it seems that so much and like possibly everything has already been exposed by Tati, but that's not true. There is something that I feel Jeffree has that he is going to use against Shane. But this card also talks about the mental manipulation. So this is actually going towards what Tati was saying, was that she was manipulated into making that video and that Shane had something to do with it. And the whole like escaping detection, that was because none of us saw this coming. We did not even think that Shane had anything to do with that whole situation, that whole video. But he has. He does. Now, the final card here is the Six of Swords. This is a card about progress, moving into calmer waters, moving on or moving forward. So this is about overcoming hardships, healing, relief, and stability, so you can he can expect problems in his life to settle down and things to be much easier to deal with. This can also represent escaping though, and like running away, journeys, traveling overseas, and going on holiday. It can signify feeling deflated and coming through a tough time, or the calm after the storm. This is also a card of intuition, inner guidance, and spirit guides. So this to me screams Jeffree Star, because of the fact that he is traveling, he's going on a holiday, he's having fun with his friends, bought a new car, all this other stuff. This card screams Jeffree. So that is who we are going to get into in the next spread. But overall, for Shane, it does seem like a lot, if not everything, that Tati has said about Shane is the truth. That he had something to do with the manipulation of her making that video. And Shane just can't get away with it anymore. He is being held accountable. Now, for Jeffree's involvement. So the first card, if I can pick it up, is the Eight of Swords reversed. This can represent release, freedom, escape, and finding solutions and options. It signifies relieving pressure, releasing anxiety, and facing fears and truths. So this is a card of self-belief, ignoring criticism, standing up to abuse, and taking back control. He may be feeling clear-minded, empowered, mentally strong, and hopeful. This card also indicates that he may find that he is ready for healing, to ask for help, and to overcome obstacles. It can also represent release from prison and the end of a punishment. However, on the flip side, this can also be an indication of extreme oppression, surrendering to pressure, or being completely paralyzed by fear and severe depression. So, okay, there's a lot here. Obviously, he's ignoring criticism right now. I feel like he is thinking about how he's going to take back the control. And I honestly do believe that Tati was right when she said that she predicts that Jeffree is going to just blow up. He's trying really hard not to, because he doesn't want to prove Tati right. But it's gonna happen. It might not be in the big grand way that he normally would, because he is trying really, really hard to hold back. But it's gonna happen. Now the next card is the King of Swords reversed. This can represent lack of structure, routine, and self-discipline, power, or authority. So this is about using your head or losing your cool. Alternatively, this card can represent being power hungry, inhumane, or a tyrant, which we all know Jeffree's star is all three of those. This can also signify a lack of logic, reason, integrity, ethics, or morals. It can also indicate legal matters not going in his favor. As a person, this card is a mature male who can be cold, power hungry, controlling, cynical, sarcastic, and ruthless. He may be an air sign, such as Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, which we know Jeffree is not any of those, but this is still him because of the traits. He could be oppressive, judgmental, aggressive, abusive, violent, and brutal. This is a card that represents someone who is intelligent and talkative, but uses those qualities for negative means, such as to manipulate or hurt others. Alternatively, he can be irrational, illogical, dim-witted, weak, and a poor communicator. So this card is Jeffree himself. And it is also the confirmation that we were looking for that says, yes, Jeffree manipulated both Shane and Tati. He manipulated them both because that's who he is. He is, as Ryland had said in his tweets, a master manipulator. Except, Ryland said that about Tati, not Jeffree. But, so the next card is the Ten of Swords reversed. This is a card that represents like things getting better, getting over the worst, surviving, or being saved from disaster and escaping ruin. This is about pulling yourself together and learning from past hardships. It can signify something coming back from the brink of death or failure, near-death experiences, and out-of-body experiences. Alternatively, it can signify fears coming true, the worst being yet to come, and being beyond help. It can also represent total ruin, despair, relapse, and problems coming back. So this has nothing to do with things getting better for Jeffree. I believe this is the start of a downhill tumble for him. Everything's just gonna snowball. It's not getting any better anytime soon. It's actually just gonna get worse. Especially when Jeffree does decide to speak out. I think he's gonna try to ignore it as long as possible, but there's gonna come a point where people are going to be holding him responsible, asking the big questions, and starting to say, like, hey, you know what, his silence is actually saying a lot, so he is guilty. And then he's gonna speak out. And it's not gonna be good for him. Now next is Judgment Reversed. This is a lot to me, because it can signify that he is allowing fear and self-doubt to hold him back from making the decisions necessary to move forward in a positive direction. Now is the time to take action, but he's not doing it. If he delays, he may lose the opportunities available to him, which is what's happening right now. And like I said with the last card, people are going to start saying, hey, his silence is deafening, and he is showing us that he is responsible. Now, alternatively, this card can be a sign that he may be refusing to learn the karmic lessons of the past, which obviously we know this. So it can also be a sign that he is taking his focus off of his own shortcomings by being overly critical of others or engaging in malicious gossip. This will only lead him to trouble. So he should try to put the focus back on fixing the issues in his own life rather than judging other people for their mistakes. It can also indicate that others are being overly judgmental or critical of him or blaming him for something that wasn't his fault. Now, that little part is not true for him, because everything else says otherwise. However, this card, especially reversed, shows that there could be a legal matter or a court case that will be resolved, but in an unjust or unfair manner. This is not towards Jeffree. I get a feeling that Jeffree is going to use everything that he has to try and take Tati down. If she takes him to court, she's going to lose, and it's not going to be fair on her part. Now, this card's saying that he's going to be in like a lot of gossip, or like engaging in malicious gossip and like criticizing others. This is him coming out with a bunch of stuff about a bunch of people. Like Tati said, he's gonna try to expose everyone. This card confirms. Alright, so the next card is the Ten of Pentacles, and it's reversed. So this can show rocky foundations, insecurity, and instability in his life. There's an element of dishonesty associated with this card, and it is a warning to steer clear of illegal or shady activities, as they will not go well for him. This is not a great card to get in relation to family either, as it can signify family feuds, family burdens, neglecting the family, big one right there, domestic disputes, and disputes over a will or inheritance. So he may not be feeling very connected with his family at this time, as it can signify disharmony or dreading a family event, a celebration, or a gathering. This can represent unconventional and breaking with traditions, or being unconventional. He may experience something sudden or unexpected changes or losses that he may be feeling, or he may be feeling like he has lost everything when this card appears. He has to remember, however, that this is often the most difficult, or that it is the most difficult or challenging situations that give us the opportunity to learn and grow. So with the family that this card is talking about, I believe that it is talking about Shane, since he has recently said that Jeffree is his family. Yet Jeffree is neglecting Shane in his time of need, and he seems to be nowhere to be found for Shane and what he is going through right now. And I do not believe that Jeffree is going to learn anything from this. He's not going to grow from this, as he has not with anything else that he has ever done. And now is not a time to be supporting him. It will never be a time to support him ever again. Now the next card is the Two of Swords, which this can represent a stalemate, a truce, or being at a crossroads. It can indicate that he is sitting on the fence, or is struggling to make, or is avoiding a difficult, stressful, or painful decision. So this is all about coming face to face with his fears. It can also signify being torn between two loyalties, relationships, situations, offers, or people. It can represent being caught in the middle of an argument or conflict and trying to mediate between opposing parties. This also represents blocking emotions, being in denial, blindness, and an inability or unwillingness to see the truth. This is a big card here, because this shows me and tells me that Jeffree, when he comes out with all of his crap about everybody else, he's gonna try to pit somebody else against Tati. It could be Shane and Tati. It could be a whole bunch of other people and Tati. And he's gonna say, oh, well, I had nothing to do with this, so why is it my fault? Why am I being blamed for it? He's gonna try and pull that kind of stuff. And that's not okay, because he knows that he had a huge part in this whole situation, and he is trying not to take responsibility or accountability for his actions. We need to make sure he does. Now the last card here is the Three of Wands reversed. So this represents like moving back home, returning from travels, and homeland. It can also indicate restriction, lack of progress, adventure or growth, failure, and being unhappy with his choices, or being disappointed with the outcome of his situation. So this card also signifies a lack of foresight or forward planning, or holding on to the past and being haunted by it. So this is a card of lack of confidence, self-doubt, frustration, clipped wings, and shying away from life. It can also represent failed holiday romances or failed long-distance relationships. So, with this card, I feel like he's waiting until he gets home to make a video or even talk about this, because right now he is trying to avoid it. He is, like the card says, is shying away from life right now. He is going to face reality, and it's gonna be soon, and he isn't gonna like it. But you know what, Jeffree? That's too effing bad. You're gonna have to deal with your actions, the consequences of your actions. We all know you're not gonna grow from this. We all know you're gonna try to make excuses, because you have time and time again. His past is gonna come back to haunt him now, as it has been, like recently. It's gonna get worse. And he may be the one being exposed soon too. Somebody's gonna look at what he's doing and gonna say, okay, you wanna play that game? Well, two can play then. This may be the downfall of Jeffree Star, which has been a long time coming. Now, although everything in those two spreads has said that Jeffree and Shane have had a lot to do with that decision of making the Bi Sisters video. Now it's time to see what Tati, what her whole role in the situation was. Alright, so the first card here is the Eight of Cups reversed. So this is saying that right now she may be accepting a lot in her life or staying in a bad situation that makes her terribly unhappy because she's afraid of moving on or worried about what the future might hold if she leaves. So she may appear to be happy to those around her, but underneath it all, she knows that she needs to let go of certain people or situations in her life in order to move forward. She is resisting this change because she is paralyzed by fear. So this was before she spoke out. It can also be a sign of running away from situations before she spoke out. Not because they are bad, but because she was afraid to take a chance and be vulnerable. This card can show a lack of emotional maturity and can also be an indicator of low self-esteem or low self-worth. This can also represent returning home after a long period of traveling or living abroad. So we all know that she moved. She said that she was afraid. So this is showing that her fear is real. Everything that she said that she was fearful of is real. And we need to believe her on that. Now we've seen this card with Jeffree. This was his last card. So this is going to be her facing up to everything that is coming out. And that her past is also going to come and haunt her. Which her past that's coming out to haunt her is her Bi Sisters video. So next is Strength reversed. So this indicates that she is not tapping into her inner strength that she has. It does not indicate a lack of strength so much as it indicates that she is letting fear, anxiety, or low self-esteem paralyze her. So again, this was in the past before she spoke out. Now more than ever, she needs to summon her inner resolve and self-belief to pull her out of her current situation. She has the strength that she needs to get over her obstacles. She has just simply lost touch with it, and that disconnection is leaving her feeling weak, vulnerable, and lacking confidence. She needs to focus on the positive, stay away from people who make her feel inadequate, and spend time with people who build her up. That is what she is currently trying to do. She is speaking her truth now. She has found her strength. This lack of strength was before she spoke out. So this next card, it can represent defeat, change, surrender, and walking away. This is a card of self-sabotaging or underhanded behavior and deception and a lack of communication. It can also represent serious conflict, stress, and lack of communication. So this card comes with a warning, as it can signify hostility, aggression, intimidation, and violence, and as such can represent situations we would hope to never encounter in our lives, such as crime, theft, bullying, abuse, assault, the bad thing sexually, or murder. On the other hand, it can simply represent the action that she must take to overcome being challenged by others, such as standing up for herself and fighting back. As such, it can be an indication of victory. So if so, the victory it represents will be hard won, as she will have quite the battle on her hands. As we know from Jeffree's little rating, he's going to use a lot of underhanded tactics to win a court case, if it comes to that. However, I feel like Tati won't let that go. She's gonna try and try and try. And she has a long, long battle up ahead. She has to be strong through all of it. And Jeffree is going to try and twist everybody's words. He's going to try and twist the situation. He's going to try and make people believe in stuff that isn't true. So next is the Hermit, reversed. So this suggests that she has been withdrawn too much from the world, or she is becoming too reclusive. Solitude might have been necessary or good for her at one point, but this card is telling her that it is a time to come back to the world and the people around her. Taking time for soul searching and self-reflection can be a great thing in moderation, but too much can be damaging. At some point, she does need to draw a line under things and move forward. This card also indicates that now is that time. It can also indicate that she may be feeling shy or apprehensive about being in social situations. She shouldn't be afraid to get back out there. Alternatively, this card can indicate that she is avoiding self-reflection completely, as she is afraid of what she'll discover if she looks inside herself. It can be an indicator of becoming too fixated with someone or something, or too rigid and restricted in her views. So this is a little bit of both on her end. She is being completely fixated right now, and she had been fixated before. Before was James, now is Jeffree and Shane. But she's doing it for a good cause. She is now coming back because she has realized that by not speaking and by not saying what she needs to say to make herself feel better in the situation was doing a lot more harm than it was doing good. And that her inaction was causing the people that did something wrong to get away with it. So now she's speaking up, and now she has that strength. Next card is the Empress reversed. So this card tells her to embrace her feminine qualities. This can apply to men too, but we are not talking about men, because we are all a mixture of masculine and feminine qualities. So this card indicates that she has been suppressing or neglecting her feminine side and needs to embrace it in order to bring her masculine and feminine energies into balance. She may be focusing too much on the material and mental aspects of life rather than the emotional and spiritual. The disharmony indicated by this card can take many forms. She may be putting others' needs before her own, to her detriment. Or she may be feeling so emotionally overwhelmed that she is neglecting those that are important to her. She may also feel unattractive or undesirable, and her confidence has taken a knock. She will need to shift the focus and ground herself to correct this imbalance. This card can be a signifier of empty nest syndrome for the parents of grown-up children. It can also be an indicator of mother issues affecting her, depending on everything else that is going on around. So this, I don't feel, is her personal mother issues. I feel like that she is having these feelings that she has failed James as a mother figure. But this card really says a lot about her video and what she said in her video. This whole reading is just pointing to Tati having told the truth. Now this last card here is the Page of Swords. This can represent bad or disappointing news and lack of ideas, planning, or inspiration. It can also signify being defensive, cold, vindictive, cynical, or sarcastic. This card can be telling her that she needs to get her head out of the clouds, and this can represent acting in a scatterbrained or dim-witted manner. So this can also represent a lack of fairness, not speaking out against injustice, which is something that we've already talked about, breaking the law, or being a delinquent. So this card can suggest that she may have nothing to say, or may be lacking in the communication skills. It can be a warning for her about the way that she communicates with people in her life. She may think that she is being truthful and direct, but she could be coming across as blunt and abrasive. This can also indicate a lack of education, a lack of mental agility, or learning difficulties. This card can also signify a game player playing mind games, malicious gossip, and paranoia. As a person, this card represents a young person who is keeping information to themselves. They are still analytical and logical with a sharp mind. However, they may use their wit for malicious or vindictive purposes. They can be manipulative, cynical, and sarcastic, and may consider themselves superior to others and that the rules don't apply to them. So they may spread malicious rumors or gossip to intentionally cause trouble. This is Jeffree. That part about with this card representing a person, that is Jeffree to a T. We all know this. So Jeffree is definitely going to come out and speak out about her video and about what she has said about him. And he is going to spill a lot of crap about a lot of people. This has come up multiple times during this whole thing. It's gonna happen. We don't know when, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna be after he comes back home from his little trip for fun and to buy his car and all this other stuff. It's gonna be after that, but it's gonna happen. Now let's look a little bit into the dark mirror. Shane Dawson, Colorless Angel, Perchance to Dream, Atonement, Calling the Storm, Triumph of Lies, Today for Tomorrow, Queen of My World. He's thinking he's gonna get away with this. He thinks that his lies are gonna be believed because they have been in the past. However, the Atonement is showing that he's not gonna get away with it that easily. He's trying to build up his own little world, trying to say like, hey, all of my supporters come follow me here. And all this other crappy stuff. He's overreacted, clearly, to Tati's video. And with that, he is called the Storm. He has stirred up a lot of speculation. And he's doing everything for him. He's being very selfish. Now let's go Jeffree. Gilded Regret, Sacrifice, The Temple of My Body, Naked Before the Stars, Alone in the World, Blinded to Pain, Artificial Heart. So he's gonna try and say like, oh, I'm sorry that I did this, but it's not gonna be what he should be sorry for, because he doesn't feel bad for what he should be sorry for. He's lost a lot of people in his career and in his life. He doesn't really have actual friends. None of the people that you see him hanging out with are his real friends. They're afraid of him. And he's gonna lose everything because of this. Because of everything that he's done. He's gonna lose everything. However, he's gonna say, you know what, this is fine, because I'm so used to it already. And yeah, it's just not a good look for you, Jeffree, but this is what you have been doing your entire career. Now let's go Tati. Artificial heart, gilded regret, sacrifice, the temple of my body, fragmentation, bride in a cage, peaceful among thorns. So this is saying that she is sorry for a lot of the wrong things. There's a lot more here that she needs to be sorry for and to take accountability for. But she's kind of like spreading herself out because she is taking this time now to speak out when she couldn't before, when she felt like she was trapped and she couldn't say anything. So now she's gonna be the peaceful one among the whole chaos. She said her piece, she's taking a step back, and she's not gonna speak on it again until she absolutely feels like she has to or that she legally can. Which is what she said in her video. She's gonna lose a lot too. That's why sacrifice came up. Now let's use the Moonology deck. Step out of your comfort zone. Gemini, communication is key. Scorpio, it's time to release negativity. Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. Cancer, which is what he is, you and your loved ones are safe. Libra, a new romance cycle begins. And Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So this is about Shane. He feels like that he's in a spot where he has never been, which is true, really. And it's gonna take a lot out of him. He's gonna lose a lot himself here. This may be the end of him and Ryland, because the new romance cycle begins. This could either be him and Ryland breaking up, or this could be their marriage. So this whole situation is literally a make or break thing for their relationship. It is now time for him to start giving rather than being the selfish person that he is being. And he needs to release all the negativity and he needs to come clean. Now on to Jeffree. A new romance cycle begins. Libra, step out of your comfort zone. Pisces, balance spirituality and practicality. Virgo, a time to give rather than to take. Nothing is yet set in stone. Believe in the impossible. Expect powerful change and a time for healing. So, obviously nothing is really set in stone about what is going to happen yet. There's so many ways that this could go. But what we know right now is that Tati is telling the truth. And it was also saying that somebody new is going to come into Jeffree's life romantically, which is kind of weird at a time like this. But I guess that's why the card Believe in the Impossible came up. And there's going to be a powerful change here. It's not going to be within Jeffree, because we've already covered that. Okay, as we have already said, he is not going to learn his lessons from this. He is not going to change for the better because of this. But there is going to be a chance for him to heal. And it's up to him whether or not he's going to take that opportunity. And finally, let's talk about Tati one last time here. Leo, confidence is key to your success. Scorpio, work through your fears. Nothing is yet set in stone. A time for healing. Sagittarius, look at the bigger picture. Don't let your past hold you back. Aries, it's time to take action. And Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. So this again, like I said with Jeffree's, nothing is yet set in stone. There's so many ways that this could all go. But she needs to stop letting her fear hold her back. She has spoken out. Now she needs to stop fearing for whatever is to come. She needs to keep going on with what she is planning to do, which it seems like she might be planning to take Jeffree and Shane to court. And if that is so, she really needs to go through with that. She needs to be confident in what she is saying. She needs to take action, and she needs to start looking at the bigger picture rather than the small little details in the situation. So what good is going to come out of this is what she needs to think. Not just for herself, but for everybody involved. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. That is all for this reading. And I hope that it gave you guys some insight onto what is going on and what possibly could happen next. And if you did enjoy this, please give it a big thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload. And don't forget to check out my Twitter account. And I have my Instagram link down below as well. So don't forget to follow me there. And yeah, I had also did a video last month about a Munchpak unboxing. I will also leave the link down there so that way you can also get your own. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I love you guys so much.